No.
between the two of you.
Yeah. Roxanne, do I do enough?
No, absolutely not.
All the submitting I've been doing?
No.
I think this kind of literary citizenship where you do the readings and that's just so important. So a lot of
Come
respect
on,
for that.
what's happening?
We won't be back. The next reading will be we're in October. That's Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're gonna have
What's she doing?
That'll be fun. We could put on our disguises.
yeah, we should. I gotta put on my cat ears again.
There you go. Rock
Okay,
it.
started the live stream. Let me get the recording started too.
Okay.
And we just want to remind everyone that the only content you can share, because we are live streaming, is your own content. Please do not share someone else's poem. Please do not share somebody else's music. Okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
Got it.
integrity of the show, because we are broadcasting, we need to make sure that the only content, even if you want to attribute it, you cannot share someone else's work.
That
Okay?
done.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And the same thing with music.
Yes.
Hi, Andrew.
Did Indran just join us?
Yeah,
Oh, great. Okay.
yeah, he's getting on. He has to unmute because I have to tell him what he's going to be doing.
Cool.
Hi, Andrew. Unmute. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hi. Andrew, where are you?
Hi, I'm not Indran, so
I know,
I'm
that's
going
strange.
to get off so he can get on, I think.
Ah,
Okay. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Pat. Patricia.
hey, Amy.
Hello.
Hi, Zora. Zora.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. Hey, Jeff.
Hello.
Hi, Zora.
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna rain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's been
It
spring.
hasn't reached Brooklyn yet.
It's
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 not raining.
already started in Queens, Woodhaven area.
It has started in Manhattan a while ago, but it's like nice and sprinkly. So it's like really, calm and cool.
Roxy.
And it's great. Amy.
Hello.
Hey, Roxy, these earrings are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And they glow a little bit in the dark. They like retain, they're like cat size. They like retain the heat light.
Oh, that's cute.
Thank you.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Cindy. Hi, Mona.
Hey.
Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Roxy. How are you?
Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
Yeah.
Mushroom
hi,
coffee.
Hey, Elizabeth.
Mushrooms.
Mm.
Delicious. Not bad.
Oh, where's mushrooms? I love mushrooms.
Mushroom coffee.
Oh, I never tried.
Hi, Indrid.
Hi.
Hi. You're going to be number 3 because it's whoever comes first.
Okay.
Okay, let me
So who-
explain quickly.
So who's number one? Number
1, Hasano. Number 2
Okay.
is Richard, because that's the order that it came in.
Hi, Richard.
Okay, we're going to start with the open, about 12, 14 people. Try to keep it 3 minutes. And we're going to bring on Hasano and Richard. They get 15 minutes each. And then we're going to have a 15-minute break. When Roxanne returns, you're gonna come on and read, and then the rest of the open,
Okay,
okay?
so I'm coming on after okay, yeah, after the break.
Mhm.
And can you put in the chat something in my
Yeah,
email?
you can do anything in the chat. The chat, let me explain, is for everyone to share your upcoming readings, your book publication, publications on Amazon, whatever, or you have a book that's coming out soon, or any readings, or any positive comments about the poems
Okay.
that you
And
hear.
the donation people are paying joint, that goes towards the anthology.
What?
The contribution
Brownstone
people.
Poets, it's people who come. You're going to be for next year because we have the featured poets due for 2000. It'll be for 2027.
Oh, will be in the anthology.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly. All the features get in, and the regulars come in as well. But all the features who are featured for me this year will be in next year's.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And hi, Charles.
Hey, Patricia.
Hi. Want to give everybody an idea. This is the information on the anthology I'm working on. And this is the proposed cover.
Oh,
that looks
yeah.
great.
Thank you, my photo. But this is all the changes are coming back, all the stuff,
Okay.
the input and everything.
Oh, no.
I
It's
didn't
like-
make one
Mine's
change.
Perfect.
It is a labor of love.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna be just one
Yeah,
second.
so this is what I have to work from to get on. I think next week, I'm gonna do this in July because I'm gonna need a few days off. I'm tired. I did the election, primary election. Oh my God, 17 hours.
Wow.
Because we had two coordinators there because they closed up Il Centro. It was like too much. We had too many people, too everything. And here was only 2 people on the ballot. But we had like so many sectors there. Normally we have 4, but this was like 8. Doubled the stuff and 2 coordinators. No.
My congressman is Hakeem Jeffries, and I'd like to see him as Speaker of the House.
Well,
Mm.
I like Hakeem Jeffries, yeah.
I like him.
Hi, Harvey. Hi, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
howdy. Okay.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Kendra.
Hey, Harvey.
Hi.
Time is it now? Okay, we start at 12:15. Roxanne, are we okay for 12:15?
You mean
12:15.
2:15? We're at 2.
12:15 has
Mountain
come and
time.
gone.
Yes.
2:50. I'm
12:15
sorry,
Mountain
2:50.
time.
I am tired. You don't know how tired I am. I have not recovered from election day.
2:10. 4 minutes. We have enough people we could start.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the information that's coming. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
We have 17 people. That's good.
Well,
Great.
we have
Thank you.
people. We had about 30 people sign up, so
Oh, okay.
I know, but
some of them will watch the replay, or they're going to watch the live stream.
Going on with this. Well,
So I just want to remind everybody once again, please only share content that it is your own. Don't read somebody else's poem. Don't share somebody else's music, because we are live streaming on YouTube.
I shared one of the books that I edited a couple of years ago. It's called World Poetry Anthology.
Thank you.
You may find this on Amazon. So poets from 59 countries, 229 poets. And by the way, all these poets actually contributed to my magazine 25 years. And the 30 years anniversary, I'm trying to compile another one. with probably 100 countries, poets from 100 countries,
Wow.
hopefully.
When's
So
your
far, I published poets from 68 countries. So I have to go, 32 more countries if I have to fulfill my dream. I'll see.
when's your 30th anniversary?
2 years from now.
Very-
Maybe these 2 years I will publish more than one issue. I started 25 years ago publishing 4 issues a year. Then I cut off to 2, and now I am doing 1 after pandemic. Probably I'm gonna have to do 2 again a year. But it's a lot of work, as Patricia said. I just finished my 28th anniversary issue. It's gonna be on Amazon soon. 20 poets from 28 countries. There are 51 poets. It's a lots of work. It's unbelievable. So,
Yeah, it's hard.
Hi, Ron.
It's not it.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Hi, Ron. Yeah, I see him now.
Hello.
Thank you for the book review
Yeah.
on compulsive
Ooh.
compulsive reader. I got another book review, Roxy.
Oh, that's great. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
that's wonderful. Ah,
It was raining here. Finally came to Brooklyn. Hey, Josephine.
it's raining where you are?
Now it's raining in Brooklyn.
Oh, not by me, I don't think. Yeah.
A light summer rain. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
It's the-
hi, Josephine. Hi, Mona. Canada's
does
in the
anybody
house.
know how I could see everybody together on the same screen?
You can do it as a
Go to the gallery.
gallery.
Yeah.
Do it as a gallery.
It says gallery view, but it shows 3 pages for me.
Yeah.
3 pages.
Ah,
3
What?
pages.
Yeah, I say 1, 2, 3. So I have to click to see everybody together.
Yeah, I think that's how it is. I don't think there's another way. Okay. Okay. Patricia and the 3 features, you are now all co-hosts.
Mhm.
So if the features want to record themselves, they can.
What's going on here? Come
Okay.
on.
We do record it, but we record the entire program. So if you want to record your own segment or any part of this, you're able to do so. But it'll record to your device. Patricia, I think we can start.
Okay. Okay.
Everything
Hi,
is
everybody. Hi, welcome to Brownstone Poets. It's raining outside here in Brooklyn, but the sun is shining. This is our final reading before we go on hiatus until October 31st. We have Hasina Abdullah, Richard Jeffrey Newman,
wow.
and Indran Amirathanayagam. Sorry about the name. Sorry about messing it up. Reading it today, and an amazing open mic. We always have good people reading. So Jack Paris is in the house, and Paris sizzling Paris. Jack, hi. Hi, Jack. How you doing? Bonjour. Bonsoir.
Ah, there I am. Bonjour
okay.
tout le monde.
Bonjour to the moon. Hey.
Yeah,
Okay. Very happy to see everybody.
very happy to see you.
Yeah. Oh, Edward's here.
See
Oh,
everyone.
Edward. Hi.
Start the video for a second.
Hi, Jack.
Okay. Yep.
Hi.
Wait.
Well, there's 2 Indrians on here. One's male, one's female.
Done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna start. We're gonna start with the about 12 to 14 open micers, and then we're gonna have Aseno, Richard, and Indran read. Aseno, Richard read, and then we're gonna have the 15-minute break. Then when we come back, we're gonna have Indran and the rest of the open mic. Please keep your readings to 3 minutes, and whoever's here, Roxanne, do the explanation.
Do not, please only share your own content. Do not read somebody else's poem. Do not share anybody else's music. Please only stick to your own work when you're sharing, because we are live streaming on YouTube.
Okay, thank you. And we get 15 minutes each, so we're gonna start, okay. Edward Galt, Austin Alexis, Amy Barone, Hahabe Sauce, Mona Zanfire, Cindy Hockman, let's see, Josephine LeRae, Carrie Radner. I don't see Karen. I don't see Peter. I don't see Caroline here. Do you see Caroline? No.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have Jack Cooper. Okay. Edward Galt, please unmute and share. Thank you. And whoever signed up is automatically on the open mic. And please use this chat room for praise and to do your shameless plugs like I do. Thank you. Edward, take it away. And
okay, thank you. Thank you very much. This one is called Yaki Wizard. December the 10th, 1986. I'll never forget it. My roommate woke me up from a sound sleep and told me that he was in A Christmas Carol. I couldn't process this. Did Mark just tell me that he was a character in a Dickens novel? That simply wasn't possible. I was the one who worked for Scrooge. No, I would have happily traded places with Bob Cratchit and worked for Scrooge. That would have been a whole stairwell up from the guy I did work for. Mr. Vignoles got up in our faces and hollered full throttle, complete with spittle. It didn't take much to set him off. He told me once that when he hollered, he wasn't really mad. So he did it just for the fun of it? When he was angry, he was quiet and spoke in a low, barely audible voice. And it was worse than the hollering he did. Trust me on it. But I digress. Mark had come in just a while ago, and he saw the flowers on his bed for his funeral. Actually, they were from Jeff's mother for his birthday. Mark told me that the night before that he had a vision he had been called to be a Yaki wizard by Don Juan. When he woke up, he was disembodied and he didn't know where his physical self was. He thought it might be out on the freeway. Mark's body on the freeway. I was picturing the grassy strip in between lanes. He wanted me to go out and help him look for his body. I was trying to imagine him getting back into it, like putting on a pair of pants. So we retraced his steps. From the sidewalk just outside the building, no body. Down Business Road to Hyde Park Ave, no body. From Hyde Park Ave up to the freeway, no body. Even after we looked all over, up and down the freeway, again, no body. When we had gone over his whole route home, he began coming to himself. We walked back to Hyde Park and went to the Mug and Muffin in Clary Square. He had several cups of coffee as he discussed the Yaki philosophy. Finally, I had to get to work in my own Christmas Carol. Some years later, Mr. Vignoles was dismissed from the company. He had had his hand in the till. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, I just want to make sure everybody who's here now, please mute unless you're reading, okay? Thank you. Austin Alexis is next, and after Austin, we're gonna have Amy Barone and Harvey Sauce. Austin, take it away.
Hi, 2 short poems. Worldly Desire. I don't know you, have no conscious reason to fear you, yet my instinct is to stare clear of you as if you are a gargoyle come to life. A bit of bad news, or more plainly, an entity super dangerous to be around. If I were to ignore my internal warnings, my oh-ohs, and allow myself the intimacy between us I sense you want, say hail to you, send greetings in your direction, would I suffer a fall from grace and commit the sin of not listening to my higher self? I might be chastised with a rash of punishments I would itch from now into infinity, inflicted on me not only by you, not only by this one decision, but by my own knuckle-headed karma, my urge to ignore my blessings and to embrace my demons. And this one is called Flight. It's for Cynthia Toronto. In this poem, you are not dead, so I don't have to miss you yet. You are still a beating heart dining at a Russian restaurant named after a Chekhov character and play. You are planning to fly to California tomorrow, where you'll undergo a new extreme form of chemo. I don't have to fret about whether we'll see each other again after this meal, which I won't accept as a farewell, since you aren't dying in this poem. During dinner, you go all in for staying positive. After dinner, you head home to Bay Ridge to pack your bags for a flight to the West Coast. You say you'll be back here in the East real soon. At the same sunset time, I hurry away from you to purchase a ticket for King Lear, narrative of that short-sighted, arm-heavy man, a sad parent who regrets he lost the chance to say goodbye. The evening's curtain descends from dusk to night. You and I have run away to escape the ending this poem won't portray. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Beautiful tribute. Thank you. She was a great lady. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Amy Barone. After Amy, we're going to have Harvey, Mona, Cindy, Josephine, Carrie, Ron, Elizabeth, Jack, and Claire. Take it away, Amy.
Okay, this is a new poem. It's called Sustenance. Olives nourish Puglia, a region kissed by the Adriatic Sea, in southern Italy's kingdom of the sun. New trees need 50 years to yield harvest. 250-year-old trees are considered young. National monuments, trees as old as 3 millennia, bear fruit that becomes gold for growers. En route to the Galantino groves and factory in Bichelieu, we pass low-lying clumps of cacti, rolled up haystacks, stone storage rooms or trulli, and roadside cemeteries for trees that succumbed to a crop devastation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Harvey Sauce. Take it away.
Okay. I think this is Pride Month. I could be wrong, but
It is Pride.
okay. In that case, I guess I'll read.
Happy Pride, everybody.
I'll read an old poem that I've freshened up. It was such a pretty face he had. The cyclist who found him at first thought he was a scarecrow, motionless and tied to a cornfield's fence, not knowing his name, Matthew Shepard, or his species, or his age, not quite 22, only the blood was real. The blood is always real. And the skull fracture that might have served as a bird feeder had he hung about any longer, all askew, almost unrecognizable as human, tortured, beaten, genderless, pistol whipped into a smoothie by those rhinestone cowboys who gave him a lift. Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson of nearby Laramie, county seat of Albany County, Wyoming. A couple of rodeo clowns putting the boot to him, apparently having nothing better to do than to joyride this gay man into oblivion, shifting the clutch away from neutral into ill intention, a queer killing mechanism kicking in. Perhaps his wounds dripped HIV on those straights who smacked him ugly, his only defense against the hate they hit him with. He had it, the HIV. Their lawyers, of course, obliged to defend the Cain in us, would later claim justification, a simple robbery gone wrong, contending that this swishy hitchhiker had come on to them one cold October night in 1998, the North Star being closer than gay rights to that high plains country where Mustangs ran free and homosexuals did not, arguing that the deceased's hand touched a knee, not inadvertently, but deliberately, that their client's good old boys went queer crazy as anyone might, whose knee was brushed by a faggot, an acceptable term of reference in those days among Wyomingites boasting chaps of militant machismo, the sort of leathery-skinned swaggerers Matthew Shepard would never grow up to be. They call Wyoming the Equality State, not much of a nickname, not so billboard terrific as the Big Sky State of Montana next door, showing little Brokeback Mountain imagination, somewhat lacking for a license plate. Still, the murder of Matthew Shepard caught our attention and held it. Meet the Press and the Prairie Home Companion wanted to know, as did we all, when the former altar boy was beaten, tied up, and left to die, left hanging there as a latter-day ecce homo, his assailants having skedaddled back to their rat holes, where, pray tell, was the equality, the companionship in that? Brought before the court in matching orange jumpsuits, identifying them as guests of the DOC, the Department of Corrections, guilt followed them like a rat-catching dog, confirmed by what in earlier times would have been called a hanging jury, prodded by bailiffs to stand up straight and act respectful, their complaints that the handcuffs gripped them too tightly, chafing their wrists, drawing laughter from reporters and court buffs, considering all the evil that they'd done. 2 life sentences consecutive those lowlifes got, along with a prison buzz cut. The bludgeoner McKinney without hope of parole, time to be served as yardbirds, wings clipped, migration out of the question. With only the taller Russell able to glimpse the guiltless sky through the high barred window of his cell, the shorter Aaron forced to stand on the collected works of Dostoevsky, lent out by Larry, the library guy. Crime and Punishment offering an apt lesson in course correction. Captivating inmates who were allowed 1 hour of relative freedom in the yard each day to build muscles that would soon decay. A timeout corner in which lifers deadlifted their lives away, where an incautious word or look could get you shivved. How fortunate for his killers, then, Cainites by nature, that we no longer live in biblical times, that an eye for an eye justice is as against the law as murder is. The courts in Gomorrah or Sodom would have seen them hung as Matthew had been, strung thumbs up on a fence to be picked at by crows, cawed and clawed to death pursuant to natural law, transformed into a bloodied mess of a dark shadow shapeless against the corn, with no more say in the matter than a scarecrow has, or a child who comes into this world nameless and stillborn. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Next we have Mona, and then after Mona, we're gonna have Cindy, Josephine, Carrie, Ron, Elizabeth, Jack, and Claire. Take it away, Mona.
Thank you, Patricia. I have one poem called Fibonacci Mountain that's gonna appear in the next issue of the Fib magazine, magazine dedicated to poems inspired by Fibonacci sequence. So my poem follows this pattern in the number of lines in each stanza. Though they are the same, my mountain is incomprehensible to your mountain, even though they are the same. I climbed the east side of mine and you the west side of yours, even though my mountain is incomprehensible to your mountain, even though they are the same. We traveled together linked in an invisible circle of synchronicities, even though I climbed the east side of mine and you the west side of yours, even though my mountain is incomprehensible to your mountain, even though they are the same. On the path, the sun is harsh and the winds are unforgiving. The further we get, the easier it is to see we're getting on in years. Is there still time to reach the top? Even though we travel together linked in an invisible circle of synchronicities, even though I climb the east side of mine and you the west side of yours, even though my mountain is incomprehensible to your mountain, even though they are the same. One day we will know why quitting is not an option. We don't know whether we'll meet, though we're climbing the same mountain. The desire to hold on to the pleasures of the valley has melted. Yet we keep going incredible distances, even though on the path the sun is harsh and the winds are unforgiving. Even though the further we get, the easier it is to see we're getting on in years, and there's not much time left to reach the top. Even though we travel together, linked in an invisible circle of synchronicities, even though I climb the east side of mine and you the west side of yours, even though my mountain is incomprehensible to your mountain, even though they are the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cindy, unmute and share.
Okay, I'm unmuted. This is a very old poem from my very first chapbook, Wednesday's Child, which I sort of self-published. Someone ended up publishing it. It's for my father, and I've probably read it before, so bear with me. But I read it in June for Father's Day. Epitaph. You created me. You swaddled me in solitude, gave me your aquiline nose, a caravan of fears, and a bandage round my stained-glassed heart. You were my jack-in-the-box joker, my midnight minstrel maestro. But then you died on a crucifix of question marks. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, next up we have, you sure that's it, Cindy?
Yeah, I'm saving my I Am the Girl poems for when the book actually comes out.
Okay, no worries. Okay, thank you. Josephine, unmute, and after Josephine, we're gonna have Carrie.
Thank you. And if I could do just a small plug, Charlie Cobain, who's in the room with me, he and I have worked on a collection together, and we have the proof copies, which means it's one step closer to publication. So yay. I'd like to share a poem that I read on Thursday night at Billy's Fixed and Free. And if there's time, then a shorter poem. And Patricia, this one gets shouted out to you because it's about kitties. So it's called Les Chattes de la Rue. So chatte is a female form of cats, and it also has that kind of dirty connotation of pussy. In Europe, I learned cats are different from their domesticated Canadian cousins. In Ireland, one floofed down onto the ground for a belly rub and followed me partway back to my B&B. Another sat on the doorstep in front of Shadone, Irish for little jewel, tangerine coat, and emerald eyes. In Belgium, they come around 3 or 4 at a time to eat from the dish neighborhood men set out after dusk. Chicken or sardine or even plain pasta, plate licked nightly clean. In Paris, no cats save the black ones printed on canvas totes and aprons. I might have seen one in a less seedy area, these Montmartre streets, home to druggies and crime. Pas de chatte dans la rue. In Viterbo, Italy, a white and tan cat sat on the parapet outside my door as I thumped my suitcase up the steep stairs. She jumped down a full story to cobblestones below. We slowly made friends. I offered bits of dinner, whitefish, chicken, considered milk, but it would go rancid in the rain. One evening, I left the door to my flat ajar, metal gate at the bottom of the steps firmly latched. La chatte came in, compelled by curiosity. Would it stay a while, lay on my bed, purr me to sleep, wake me before the church bells, before the swallows, with her gentle, clawless caress? No, for this cat, like the other street cats, was not my cat. Unlike the fox and the little prince, we had not danced the slow dance of familiarity, of apprivoisement. On my fellow morning, she approached, let me offer food from my hand, shared my last slice of mortadella, as if to intimate, were you not leaving so soon, if you could find it in your heart to stay, we could have been more. The cats of Bolsena, of an entirely different ken, less wary, more street smart, know just the right level of standoffishness, lay claim to their spot in the piazza, challenging passers-by in tour groups, and then looking indifferently away. And the second one is a short one called Nevermore. Daughter of Demeter, sister of Eve, we walk, heads hanging, hands covering our shame, nevermore to eat of this garden, this jeweled pomegranate, this apple of knowledge, box unclasped, woes unleashed, banished. Nevermore will we indulge in the glories of paradise, we fantastical birds of silk and feather, nevermore to take flight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Beautifully done. Okay, next up we have Carrie. One of our
Hey guys.
editors, one of my editors. Thank you. Great job, Carrie.
Right. Hey guys, this is my tribute to David Bowie. I saw a wonderful concert film that he did in 1973 when he was Ziggy Stardust. So this is my impression from it. It's called Ziggy. The teenage and moon age daydreamers of 1973 wept rapturous pleasure at London's Odeon Theatre, basking in the glow of Ziggy Stardust. They wished that this comic ride would play on forever, but the glitter rock era would die down, thanks to his red head ruler, who grinned, shook, posed, and strummed, planning on many changes. Even when his eyes flashed with mischief on stage, they were frozen in a prison backstage. He was so tired of playing the role of the kabuki-clad alien. More roles wait patiently in the wings. A Philly R&B crooner, a manic junkie riding high and low, station to station. We could be heroes standing by the wall. The Thin White Duke, not my favorite. Major Tom, Ashes to Ashes, Under Pressure with Queen, Cherith, the Goblin King, Keeper of the Labyrinth, a dancing mega pop star, a tin machine, a cat person putting out fires with gasoline, a master songwriter, collaborator, performer, a loving husband and father the second time around, an icon of fashion, turn to the left, a musical theater show creator, Lazarus, and an aged emperor, a black star. All these roles were waiting for him. Ziggy had to go back to outer space along with the spiders of Mars, even though no one understood why at the time. He had a big appetite for song, dabbling in lust, just like Frankenfurter, with both men and women. He had a bigger drug habit. He never slept nor ate as he tried to save the world as the man who fell to earth. But things did calm down. Eventually, the kids of 1973 grew up and they wised up. They brought their own kids to his concerts before he died. He is part of the whole universe, singing songs that will never pass away as long as our eyes well up. His voice will always haunt our souls, hearts, and minds. Perhaps he is listening to us from the great beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I love Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
He is the
What a
best.
loss. What a loss to the
I know.
community. Damn. Okay, next we have Ron Bremer, Elizabeth Moss, Jack Cooper, and Claire Gende. This will end the first round of the Open. No worries. Anybody who didn't read yet, you'll read in the second round. Okay, Ron, take it away.
Okay, I recently did a review of Stranger on the Shore by Patricia Carrigan. Sorry, Patricia Carrigan. It is in Compulsive Reader, and I'll put up the link in the chat. Now, there is an anthology coming out with poems about or concerning Dorothy Parker, and this poem is in that anthology. The long deceased Miss Dorothy Parker frequently whispers in my ear, or should I say, chides and deflects from my immediate goals at hand. These cosmic distractions by Miss Parker may seem superficial intrusions and annoying at best, but taken together, they weave a seamless garment of bittersweet truths and facts that have tried to hide their faces from me so I can't see their ugly beauty. But Dorothy can and wisens me up. To live as we do, one must be forearmed. And as I waltz out among the surrogate arrogance, I keep the invisible Miss Parker on my arm, thankful always for her chic, déclassé smarts. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out. Next, we're going to have Elizabeth Moss, one of our editors. Thank you so much for editing. Appreciate your job. Well done. Take it away, Elizabeth.
Years together. A white moon stain marks the morning sky. Yellow topaz light streams through the trees. You never would have come on this walk, although you always brought coffee. Back then, I held your fingers as we walked to your car, you telling me about distant streets and mosques. These are the fingers that cut, that healed, after you told patients with gunshot wounds to hope. You were astonished when I told you we would have to live separately. Too many trips to Atlantic City. You did the pro bono work I asked you not to do, and the pandemic killed you. You were kinder than me, more self-sacrificing. You gambled with everything, light and dark, stars and moons. In love with excitement, you were unfaithful to me. When you were young, the streets of Istanbul enticed you to wander. A trauma surgeon, you secured a residency in the States. Had to leave, they said, because you partied with the wrong party. As a medical student, you spent way too much time at the Soviet embassy. I held your fingers as we walked to your car. For so many years, I've loved you. Now I think of you here on the path by the river, 10 years together and 10 years apart. And a short one. What you left You left me an orange on the table, and I scatter the white veined segments. Gazing out the window, I murmur my sorrows. This is the love you peeled on my table. All you have left me is an orange, golden segments leaking grief. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Elizabeth. Okay, next we're gonna go to hot. Paris is hot.
It is hot.
Always will be. Hot meaning is like
Hotter than,
hotter than New York where it was a year ago.
yes,
Remember it was
yes.
105 degrees back when I was doing the
Hmm.
at the oh my god, and they turned off the AC. This was at the polls.
Yeah.
And then I came home, my fish were dead. It was hot in hell. Okay, Jack, take it away. And after Jack, we're gonna have Claire, and then we're gonna go on to the two features, and then the intermission, and the rest of the feature, and the other feature, and the rest of the open. Take it away, Jack.
Okay, a small announcement. I've just published a new aphorism, which I will put, the link to which I will put in the chat. And first, a haiku with a title, Immobile. Deer in the headlights. Have you seen the grinning cars? I am not laughing. This is a poem that is old. I think it's one of the first I published, but it seems appropriate to the weather here and to my increasing misanthropy. It's called aphelion, which is the point farthest from the sun. Half moon, cleaved like a melon, sight unseen. Breeze through these mean streets moves, cool to one side, other molten mirage. Une nuit celluloid, a movie still, hotter than blazes. This cliched July, cinema inferno, steadfast as sidewalks, ink awash on the page, will not dry. I cultivate rectitude, going about the city alone, species reconnoiter of summer dress, sweet cotton, particular, clinging, a benevolent transformation the Gorgons would have dreamed, turning themselves into Liberty Bells, spelled Belles, and I open a crack. Geometry in beauty, mountain in math, rise above, feeling no interference from the sky. Ideal, the eyes may face, the sun show west, the moon continue to climb. Biology, what difference if influence with the tides ride the world over and leave little changed? Commonality, cease to accept its faith. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Stay cool. Yeah, I've been seeing those videos of French people running into the stores buying fans. It's crazy.
Yeah, people have drowned.
Jesus. And they're also jumping into the Seine.
Yeah.
It's like a beach.
I'm not sure where they're jumping, but they're drowning. And yeah.
Wow. It's like a beach resort now. Crazy.
Hmm.
Okay, Claire, the other. Bonjour, Claire.
Hello, everybody. So this poem is called The Fountain. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. They stand quiet, disillusioned, on top of the inactive fountain like vagrant bodies or doomed prisoners, waiting for the water, hoping it will spring again from the ground like fiery desires only known by children and teenagers. They wander from one side of the fountain to the next, circling around it like vultures, or as though waiting for a deaf man to open his mouth and speak, until the jets of water suddenly spout, enveloping the tiny white bodies with thick, transparent water. They shriek while splashing each other frantically. They run and scream as though playing with a dangerous element like fire, as if to test their limits. They jump on the water jets and throw themselves in them like thirsty animals, screaming out of joy, screaming out of pleasure. Their skin gleams with the hundreds of water drops, making it brighter as they move, like diamonds. These might not be real, but their excitement and pleasure in the gift of cold water seems to be worth more than any diamond in the world. This is an ode to freedom. Surely they couldn't play like that in their mother's wombs, and part of the excitement is the possibility to move freely and enjoy their physical independence, the power of running and kicking. However, the original pleasure of forgetting oneself in the water seems to remind them of their first bath and original state before being brought out into the world and experiencing the pleasure to scream in their new womb, the sun. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Stay cool, everybody. And now, okay, on the next round, we're going to have Elizabeth Lauer, Phil Linz, Jeff Cottrell, Lynn Shapiro, Lakshman Balushu, Zorea Zodbud, Charles Corbin, myself, and Roxy Reed. But in the meantime, we're going to have the features now, features 1 and 2, and then the break, and then we're going to come back with feature number 3 and the rest of the open. So we're going to have Hasano Reed. Hold on, let me get into the speaker mode here. If I can do this. Hold on. Come on, full screen. Okay, here we go.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, hi. Hassano Abdullah is a Bangladeshi American poet, novelist, critic, songwriter, and editor. The author of 62 books, he is the creator of the Swatandra sonnet and the author of a Bengali epic on cosmology. Sorry. His poetry has been translated into 18 languages and published internationally. He has participated in poetry festivals across 5 continents, including the Struga Poetry Evenings. A recipient of 5 International Poetry Awards, he is a retired New York City high school mathematics teacher and has edited Shabdagucha, an international poetry magazine, since 1998. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Hassano.
Thank you so much. Everybody could hear me, right?
Yeah. We can hear you.
I actually remember that I was personally reading for Brownstone Poets a couple of times. Went to Brooklyn. Remember that?
It was a while ago. Yeah.
A while ago. Yeah, a long time ago. And listening to all these poets, it's really, really a great pleasure. And thank you for inviting me. Before I go on, my next reading is going to be New York City Poetry Festival of July 19, 4:30, and 2 international coming up, which is I'm going to go to Poland in November and India in December. Anyway, yes, I have been working a lot, and I always believe that I'm a 24 hours poet. So my collected, I'm from Bangladesh. I was born in Bangladesh long time ago, 59 years ago. And I came to this country 36 years ago and graduated from Hunter College, then taught at LaGuardia Community College. Later, I saw that it was very tough keeping on writing and, teaching as a well becoming I needed my PhD in order to continue in college, which I rejected for poetry. And my professor said you have to stop writing poetry for 5 years in order to do PhD in math. So I rejected that and I went to teach in a high school. I retired 2 years ago for my early retirement. Anyway, I edit the magazine Shabdagutsu for 28 years. 28th anniversary issue is coming up. I'm going to read 15 minutes, right? So let me know when the time is almost there. The first poem is With a Little Cash. If I have a little cash, I will open an art shop. My modernist call will raise echo and journey to corners of places not reached before. Let a few days pass by. If I have a little cash, I will wash your soft feet with spring water. If I have some money, I will buy the giant sky. Wandering all day on its floor, birds will wake me up and they will again put me easily asleep. The world will find my hands in its own if the crooked line of restlessness is wiped away. With some money, I will spend my time listening to the bees. Faraway conversations, no longer talking from wire to wire, no more wasting of sleep. Bangladesh, take a note of it. I will rest my head upon your breast and sleep all night in tranquility when I have just a little cash. Well, my that dream is not going to be fulfilled because the country is now occupied by fundamentalists and I have no place in there. They said if I put my foot on there, they will kill me. So it's really every day in an average 10 people are being killed in the street right now. So that's a sad news. This I'm reading from this book. Actually, this is my Polish version of this book, came out last year. This is my second book in Polish, English bilingual. So I'll read another poem from there. Let's see if I could read the first poem on this book. Yeah. I wait for something better. I wait for something better. A better start of the day, a better evening. I wait for a better song, bird feathers, a better piece of poetry. I wait for a better breaking news. I wait for something better. A better afternoon, a luminous face, better words, sunny sky. I wait for a better book. I wait for something better. A better stream, a better boat, cheerful offspring, a room full of guests. I wait for a better friendship. I wait for something better, a better house, an open balcony, a fresh breeze, lots of flowers, a better land of green, a better harvest. I wait for a better life. I must say thank you, Patricia, Roxanne, and my co-readers, all my co-readers. Richard, I know Richard for many years. I was a feature on his place and I published him a couple of times on my magazine. So, and Indran, this is the first time I'm meeting him. So I'm waiting to listen to you. Roxanne said I introduced a different type of sonnets. It called Shatantra sonnet. I wrote about 230 sonnets. It's not Petrarchan, not Shakespearean. It's 14 lines, but as a math student, I broke it down into 7/7. And the rhyming scheme A, B, C, D, A, B, C, E, F, G, D, E, F, G. So the D sound, fourth line of the first stanza and fourth line of the second stanza. Someone was reading Fibonacci mountain, knows math. So that's like foci of an ellipse, two foci. So there are 6 editions of the book came out from Bangladesh and India, and 2 editions in English, one from here, one from India. So I'll read 2 sonnets from there. This is still available in Amazon.com, and the other one, 100 Swatantra Sonnets, my translation, with the rhyme and rhythm intact. So it took me long time. First, I introduced this sonnet 1994. You know, about that time, I rejected my PhD 1995. So I thought that, well, I have to complete this, series of sonnets. And the epic that's been recently translated, waiting for finding a publisher. Number 77. I have heard the noble sound of your footsteps, my love. Come closer and slowly open your heart. Spread the fragrance of your beautiful breast. Let the door be closed. Embrace me tightly with your gentle hand and let your sweetest lips and set your sweetest lips on mine like a wild dove. Keep on crawling up to finding my heart's main thread, vivid as the spring tumbling at the ocean floor. Take off the seamless boutique sari and raise both hands to untie your hair. Brush me like rose petals. Without you, I'm always lonely, dry and dark. Implant the fresh eternal light in my green land and don't bother making the bed tonight. Rather soothe the warmth of my tense body, my topical cells, spreading the pure touch of your astounding spark. Thank you. Though I keep the style and rhythm intact, I try to write all the sonnets like a prose poem. So anybody who does not care about the rhythm and rhyme could read as a prose poem. Some of the sonnets I wrote from the first line to the last line, one sentence. So some of this took me real time, and I developed my blood pressure doing that. My doctor said, do not write sonnets anymore, but I kept on doing that. This one is about Hiroshima, Nagasaki, that bombing in 1945. Sonnet number 121. Sometimes death itself stays awake throughout the whole night, the way once Nagasaki did with its flames on the nuclear bomb in its charred heart. Those stalled August night might be harshly suited to the dead. That coward, hapless, and husky time torn the soul of our civilization with its raising emblems. Since then, anything is possible in this world. Since then, we live closer to death as if our days are calm like a half-wit's. Staying awake, we could hear the dead like insects, singing vigorous vibes. Our Hiroshima existence, often shredded in the cascade of death and hunger, and the rage, the bloody wounds of the late 1940s would still ooze horrible past, grinding all our lost lives. Thank you. The next poem I'm going to read from this book is called Under the Thin Layers of Light. This has been actually translated into a couple of languages. Came out in Spanish, which is available on Amazon. Came out in Chinese and Polish. And recently someone is working to do it in Arabic, and Swedish. There are 2 poets. So this poem about my dad, 1971, I don't know if you remember, there was a war between Bangladesh and Pakistan, and 3 million people were killed. My dad was one of them. I was only 3.5 years old. And he was lined up with other people and shot by the river. With the wound, he jumped into the river. So this is the picture I'm portraying here. Unfortunately, after 55 years, those collaborators took over the country right now, so we have no place in there. The cacophony of gunfire. Suddenly, he jumped into the river. Suddenly, he managed to jump into the river. Suddenly, at the devastating moment, he jumped into the river. Suddenly, at that fearsome, devastating moment, he jumped into the river. Suddenly, with a horrible wound, at that fearsome, bloody, devastating moment, he jumped into the river. The surging waves turned red with his blood. The cacophony of the clattering gunfire was still vibrating in the air, and the constant cry of the wounded and dying. It's been happening all over. It's been happening all over. As we are reading, speaking at this moment, people are dying all over the world. We can do anything. Poets, Stanley Kunitz once told me that all poets are from same mother. Yes, we have a brotherhood of poetry. I feel that way while I go to different poetry festivals and got friendship, and that friendship goes on for years, for lifetimes. I feel that he's right, but we poets have very little to do that for that killing, but we could raise our voice. This hand, the next poem. This hand is a postulate of a postmodern poem, removing the drastic dust of modernism hastily. It brings mind and moments to the heart of human heritage. Cool, robust, crafty, gentle, tranquil, artistically composed, and mutually supportive. This hand is of Africa, at the hazy sides of Asia, a vigorous treatment of temporal time. Accepting amulets of the wrenched human beings and their staggering survival in New York City, this hand turns momentarily further apiece. Visiting the refugee camp of Kosovo, supplying bottles of milk to the naked, hungry, lacerated children of Iraq, sitting beside the arsenic-scalded, less fortunate housewives of Bangladesh, and washing out the heartache with tears. This hand rises up again against the nuclear terror 52 weeks a year. Thank you. You are a great listener, great poets. I was listening some of these poets. I took notes. I will ask you to submit to my magazine. I gave you the Shabdagutsu email on the chat. The next poem, I Will Eat. I will read it in Bengali first because this is a very rhythmic poem. Whenever I go to any country and go to schools, the students, they started chanting with me. When I read this poem, it's called Ami Khabo, I Will Eat. I'll read the English part first, then Bengali, so that you see what I was talking about. By the way, all these poems, did you say anything?
It's been the last one.
This is the last one. Very good. I will eat. I will eat. Eating now and will eat more. Whatever I get, I will eat for sure. I'll eat the dawn, the dusk, and the dark. On the way to work, back to home. I will eat on the train and bus. I will eat whatever I pass. I will eat heaven and hell, wise guys and the loon. I will eat the sun and the moon. I will come and go as I wish, eating the bugle of 1,000 battles at ease, scandals too, whatever I please. I will eat silver, gold, eyes, ears, and the face. I will eat each and every race. Yes, I will. I'll eat palaces, coaches, guards of all swine and roaches. I'll eat the mask of the hypocrite. Yes, I will eat. I will eat peasants, the monarch's head, alive, not the dead, the tyrant's fate with feet. I will eat. Do I have time to read the Bengali part?
Quickly, thank you, because we have to move on. Thank you.
খাবো আমি খাবো খাচ্ছি এবং আরো খাবো যা যা পাবো আমি খাবো সকাল খাবো সন্ধ্যা খাবো রাত্রি খাবো কাজে যাওয়া আসার সময় ট্রেন ও বাসের যাত্রী খাবো আমি খাবো আমি খাবো আকাশ খাবো পাতাল খাবো ভদ্রলোক আর মাতাল খাবো চন্দ্র খাবো সূর্য খাবো হাজার রনের তুর্য খাবো ইচ্ছা মতন আসবো যাবো ইচ্ছা মতন কিচ্ছা খাবো আমি খাবো রৌপ্য খাবো স্বর্ণ খাবো মুখ চোখ ও কর্ণ খাবো বিশ্বের সব বর্ণ খাবো আমি খাবো আমি খাবো দালান কোঠা গাড়ি খাবো সব শুয়োরের নারী খাবো ভণ্ড খাজার দাড়ি খাবো আমি খাবো আমি খাবো প্রজা খাবো রাজা খাবো মৃত নয় তাজা খাবো অত্যাচারীর সাজা খাবো আমি খাবো আমি খাবো Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much for listening. And I have been really delighted and honored.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Wonderful reading. Thank you, Hassano. Now we move on to Richard. Richard Jeffrey Newman has published 3 books of poetry: Teshuvah, Fernwood Press, 2023, Words for What Those Men Have Done, Guernica Editions, 2017, and The Silence of Men, Kavankari Press, 2006, as well as 3 books of translation from Classical Persian, selections from Sadi's Gulistan, selections from Sadi's Bustan, Global Scholarly Publications, 2004 and 2006, and The Tell of Tales Stories from Ferdowsi's Shahnameh Junction Press, 2011. His essays and reviews have appeared in a variety of publications, including Salon, Unlikely Stories, American Book Review, LitHub, Solstice, and Majuscu. He is Professor Emeritus of English and Creative Writing at SUNY's Nassau Community College. He curates the First Tuesdays Reading series in Jackson Heights, New York. His website is www.richardnewman.com. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Richard Jeffrey Newman. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you very well.
Good. Patricia, thank you. Roxanne, thank you so much for inviting me. I really want to thank the open mic readers who I heard in Hassan. Now that was really a lovely reading. I want to say one very quick thing before I read. 2 very quick things. One is I will put the website for First Tuesdays, the reading series, in the chat. If any of you are interested, you can check it out. And we meet on the first Tuesday of the month from September through June. I say this at almost every reading I go to, and because I think it's important to remember that when we gather like this to share literature and to share our work and to talk about poetry and such, I think it's important to remember that this is in its way its own form of resistance, because there are a lot of people right now in this country who would prefer that we not gather like this. and who would prefer that we not be writing and that we not be saying the things that we are saying. So I just want to acknowledge that we are, even though it's pleasant and it's nice and it's moving, we are also engaged in our way in an act of resistance. So I'm going to read a couple of poems from each of my books. And I'm going to start with two poems from The Silence of Men that are love poems, because I really believe these days love, it's important to affirm love. And the first poem is called Light. Light. In the dream, my life was smoke. I couldn't breathe. So I ran, unwrapping myself down the beach till your skin, the ocean, lapped at my knees. I dove in. Your voice was a current, a melody gathering words to itself for us to sing, and we sang them. And they swirled around us, iridescent fish, bringing light to the world you were for me. And then I was water, a river washing the night from your flesh, and I cradled your body rising in me till you were clean, glowing. And when you surfaced, glistening, there was not an inch of you I didn't cling to. And this poem is called Because. And if you've ever been in a long distance relationship, I think you will appreciate this. Because I refuse to learn to say goodbye, these words, but because they are not my skin, and because my fingers are not syllables, and because your voice on the phone is not breath I can take into my mouth and taste, and the phone when we speak is not your body in my arms or your hand lifting my chin so our eyes meet when you say, I love you. And because when I imagine your hand lifting my chin, I want to live within that moment with you, the way language lives within us. I am here, wrestling these lines into form. And because the form is me when you read it, I'll be there and we'll touch. Thank you. The next few poems I'm going to read are from Words for What Those Men Have Done, my second book. This is when my son was, I don't know, in second or third grade. We had a conversation about God, about religion. And this poem is almost directly a transcription of that conversation. Not exactly, but almost directly a transcription of that conversation. It's called My Son's Theology. Shahab asks if I believe in God. I tell him no. He doesn't ask me why. Instead, he tells me God is a dust speck floating on the wind, watching and waving, though we can't see him. And God created nothing, Shahab says, except himself. But he's not lonely and he's not sad. So we laugh, picturing God lounging poolside at some Hollywood movie star's mansion. We don't discuss God's gender. Cool drink in hand, when I ask, it's orange juice, of course. God's wearing precisely the gunmetal blue sunglasses Shahab convinced us just last week to buy him for the beach. He puts them on now. They're right next to his bed, leans back against the wall and waves. And if you do notice God is there, he says, sitting up straight, raising his eyebrows and smiling, don't be afraid to say hello or give him a high five. Then my son lifts God's beverage in the generous welcome he imagines divinity is and grins. Just make sure he raises his hand first. Thank you. So unfortunately, in my family, there was a very sad anniversary of a death that just passed. My sister-in-law's son died a couple of years ago now. suddenly. He was a very young man. He was 30 years old. He died in his sleep of a heart attack. It was very sudden. And so this is poem about death. It's called You'd Better Finish Knitting, a ghazal. And some of you, ghazal is the Persian pronunciation of ghazal. Ghazal, so some of you may know the form. It's spelled Ghazal. So it's often pronounced in the States and I think in South Asia as ghazal, but the Persian, I learned it from the Persian pronunciation. It's called, and in Persian, it's pronounced ghazal. So this is, You'd better finish knitting, ghazal. So I've decided to embrace his death the way before I did not embrace his death. I slammed the phone down on his mother's voice. I won't allow her to deface his death. One by one, the cars behind the hearse pull out, slow runners forced to race his death. Autumn leaves sweep the air above our heads. Few fall. That we're still here amazes death. They put their brother in the ground and leave. Revenge, his sister says, replaces death. Sun bleached on the sand, bones stripped of flesh. The tide rises, recedes, displaces death. A moment comes when what has ripened falls. Your hunger is a hole that chases death. I've kissed a woman young enough to be my daughter. Age receded. Face this, death. Snow accumulates and melts, gives way to each fruit in season. Come, taste this death. I'm never more alive than when I come. Only true surrender erases death. No other path will lead you to the end. Each step, if you are fearless, praises death. They'll tell you Richard's words besmirch this page, but virgin white will not efface his death. Thank you. And I should say that Hassan Al published that poem in Shabdagucha, I don't even remember how many years ago. But so if he invites you to submit, it is good. It's a good journal to submit to. And not just because I appeared in it, but because it's a good journal. And the last couple of poems I'm going to read are from Tshuva, which is my most recently published book. I have a new book coming out next year called 2020, which is in its way an account of the pandemic year. But that's for next year. So I'm going to read going to read two poems from this book as well. And the first one is called What Will Not Let Itself Be Washed Away. And it takes place in South Korea, and there are a couple of things that you need to know. So the place names are just place names in Seoul. Some of them are gone because this happened a long time ago. And a song in disco is an adult disco. At the time that I was there in the 1980s, the sex trade was ubiquitous. And if you went to a song in disco, there were the Korean version, basically, of strip shows. What will not let itself be washed away. On that boys' night out in Jamshil 30 years ago, in the song in disco at the far end of Semal Shijang, the dancer your friends insisted you had to see stepped when the applause stopped down from the stage and paraded herself naked around the room, pouring drinks for the men but not the women watching from the tables lining the dance floor. When she reached the spot where you were seated, her eyes widened. Your white face was not a common sight back then, and she shimmied past the knees of the two men sitting to your left, who did not touch her as she passed, to curl naked in your lap. She filled your soju shot glass precisely to the brim. Without a word, opened her thighs wide enough to press your fingers flat to where you'd have to pay to enter, and held them there with a firmness you chose not to resist. Then she shimmied back out to join the man waiting at the door, holding out for her the robe she wore when she first strutted into the spotlight. But before she turned her back on you forever, she plucked a rose from the centerpiece, fixed her gaze to yours, and tucked the flower neatly into your breast pocket. A blossom you kept in a windowsill soda bottle vase till only the stem remained. Tonight, your skin a solitude you cannot wash away. You want to feel again the moment of that giving. So you lift your tumbler, scotch you've been nursing since 8:30, and toast the two of them, dancer and handler, as he drapes the robe over her shoulder and she walks out ahead of him, eyes focused nowhere but forward. In second grade, a girl whose name you want to say was Rachel walked with you every day halfway home from school. As if on cue, at the corner where she turned left and you turned right, she always turned her large and hazel eyes to you, waiting for you to say goodbye first. Once, in spring, a rhythm entered you and you found words you wish you could remember. They were perfect, meant, I love you. But then the girl is gone, and nothing you have written has ever brought her back. Thank you. And the last poem I'm going to read is the last poem in the book. It's the last poem in a sequence that is called "The Sentence is a Metaphor for Bridge." And the only thing you need to know is that Gehenna is the word for hell in Jewish culture. And you also need to know that Gehenna is not a place of eternal damnation in Jewish culture. It's more a place where kind of purification, if you believe in it, kind of purification takes place. Right? It's not, at least the way I learned about it, eternal damnation. So this is section 20 of "This Sentence is a Metaphor for Bridge." Imagine Gehenna unfenced, yourself the unburned center of all that burning. Every prayer you've ever said, undone line by line, until the empty page is all you have. Enter there the path in you that is only a path. Gather its shadows into a dance, a movement that ends with love, that keeps on moving till love becomes the rhythm and you the fire, and the dance the life you've chosen to make your loving possible. You thought you had to be the clench you've held where none but you could feel it. Give yourself instead to all that rises. Fill that cloudless sky with laughter. Thank you so very, very much for the invitation, and thank you all of you for being here. It was really wonderful.
Thank you so much, Richard. This has been wonderful. What a reading today. The open mic, excuse me, my throat, allergies. The open micers and so far the features. I'm anxious to hear Indra when we come back from our break. We're going to go on our break right now. Please unmute, and everybody, you can now converse. You can go get your cup of coffee or tea or whatever. We're going to come
Richard,
back.
this is a great reading. I mean,
Right, thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. We're going to come back.
Well, thank you so
with,
much.
We're going to come back with Indra and the rest of the open mic. I'll just read off whoever signed up is on the open list. We have Elizabeth Lara, we have Phil Linz, we have Jeff Cottrell, we have Lynn Shapiro, Lakshman Bolusu, Zora Zadbud, Charles Colbean, myself, and Roxy, and whoever else didn't read. So please unmute and share and enjoy. Excellent reading.
So 15 minutes, we have a break.
Yeah.
So you
Or
could
until
go for
Roxy
a
gets
cup
back.
of tea or things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot my tea. Usually, I actually have talk shows 3 times a week. So I get my tea and sit down here. But
I already finished my mushroom.
I forgot today. Anyway, let me get my tea.
I had my mushroom coffee. Yeah, Roxy, what's up? You can unmute.
You liking the mushroom coffee?
Yeah, not bad. It's a little different. It's Arabica coffee, but it's different. It's like, yeah, I'm liking the taste more and more.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Sounds psychedelic.
I'm not high yet. I'm not that high.
Yeah, it's like Arabica coffee with 10 types of mushrooms.
Mm.
Let me just show you.
From Temu, my favorite place.
She's a Tamu poster child. Well, I did a heaping spoonful because if you do to the level, I need a little bit stronger.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'll mix it with some regular coffee too.
Yeah, because it's good to mix, because sometimes maybe I should put 2 of them in because I need a little more kick.
Yeah, I like very strong coffee.
I like coffee. I like
For a
caffeine.
little
I
for
like
a little
caffeine.
while. For a little while, I was drinking mushroom coffee because I was trying to be good to my stomach.
You think
Tasted interesting.
And I just want to do a little shameless plug. Here's my new book. Thank you, Ron, for reviewing it, blurbing it. It's on Amazon. And this is last year's anthology. I have all the information on the. And as we speak, hopefully get out by September. I have that batch I'm working on for the next anthology.
Congratulations on your new anthology. I can't wait to read it.
I know it's a lot. I'm just, 3 more and that's it. 3 new people to go. Am I done? Then I gotta take a few days off because I have not recovered from Tuesday because they had me stay the extra time. It was like a madness, maddening.
Yeah.
So I have to say, I found out kind of right before the reading, there is a possibility that I will have to leave at about 4:15 because we have a family thing. And I want to apologize to anybody whose work that I miss. I'm going to try and stay until the very end, but if I have to go, I don't want you to think that I'm just sort of
No, it's okay.
bowing out, for no reason but I just wanted to let everybody know, because I know that it's never a good thing when people just, especially when a feature kind of just has to, leaves early without saying so. So I just want to if I can stay, I will. If I have to go, please understand.
Mhm.
And I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Tony. Yeah.
So where do you buy mushroom coffee?
Well, wait. Well, there are. I don't remember the outfit I ordered it from. Actually, I think you could Google that and you would come up with a number of mail order places. That's where I kind of got it, was mail order. And I only did that because I had digestive issues and it was really good for my stomach for a while. Doesn't taste bad.
Okay. Does it taste earthy or does it taste like soup? I was just wondering.
Okay, I'm sorry, what? See if I can look it up. Ah. Let's see. Oh, Rising. RYZY. Rising.
Okay. Check it out.
Let's see if I can put that in the
chat
for you.
Great.
See, I got my phone hijacked here somehow. No. Okay.
Should man be explained?
This would be a better place. Okay.
May I ask for the link to the magazine that was mentioned earlier?
You,
I'm a bit confused.
Here it is.
Miss Roxy.
Oh, cool.
Hassan mentioned a magazine that he edits. Has he put the link in the chat?
Is it only for formalist poetry for your magazine? I don't know. I think he's.
Oh, he's not there. Okay, yeah.
I think he went to the kitchen.
Okay.
No, because I normally don't do. I don't know if it's formalist. Because I tend to be free verse or haiku.
See, that link is in the chat now.
Great. Yeah, I see it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What time is it now? Hi, Hassano. Regarding
Hello.
Hi, regarding your magazine, is it what kind of poetry do you have?
Poetry has no subject.
Oh, it could be
You could
free
write
verse.
poetry in any subject area, but I want good work.
Could be
That's all.
free verse or haiku. Whatever.
It could be anything. Haiku, I'm not very fond of haikus, but hey, there are great haikus too.
Because I do mostly free verse. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Patricia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to sign off my phone and sign on with my computer, okay?
Okay, no problem.
All righty.
Neil, since you do you want to read first after Indran? Because I know you have like a time zone thing. Are you okay with that? Do you want to read sooner? Okay.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Patricia. Thanks.
because you have the time zone thing. I didn't realize it's like,
Sanal, can you put a link to your magazine in the chat?
A link or the
Or how to reach you?
Oh, okay, okay.
or I can-
I'll put my email one more time.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And I will also put the magazine website if anybody wants to check it.
Thank you.
is it published or unpublished? Can you just send
It doesn't matter. I don't care about published and unpublished work.
Okay,
I care about your best piece of work.
beautiful. Okay, thank you. Good to know. Good for everybody to know that.
Great.
Not about me, it's about everybody else here.
I published many poets from around the world. Some of them are great, including our Nobel laureate, what's her name was? Louise Glück. I knew her personally from Stanley Kunitz. Remember, I met Stanley Kunitz long time ago, and I interviewed him. And then after he died, I had an issue of the magazine, a Stanley Kunitz issue. They kept it on his archive right now. And that was a great, and I translated him into Bengali, a lot of his poems. He introduced me in a big forum of publishers came to Poets House long time ago. That time Poets House was in Houston Street. It's not in there.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi.
Okay, that's my email, and this is the website.
Yeah, I'll look the website. I can look you up. Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Roxy, let me know. Do you want to do it now?
Yeah, let me see how many people are back.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Oh, we have 26 people. Yeah, I think is everybody back?
Let
me just see if
Lakshman is Lakshman back?
No, I don't see everybody's video, so.
Yes, I'm back, Lakshman. Lakshman, I'm back.
Okay, okay, so maybe you want to start, you know. Are we okay?
Oh, okay, okay.
Let me just restart.
Okay, let me just.
Just 5 minutes to pass it. ఇప్పుడు కాదు.
Hi. Hi, welcome back to part 2 of Brownstone Poets. Thank you for everybody staying. We still have some excellent readings going on here. We're going to have our feature Indran Amirthanayagam coming up. And then after that, we got a great open mic. So let's get on with the show. Okay, hold on. Let me get, sorry about this. Let me just get into speaker. Okay. Okay, poet, essayist, and translator Indran Amirthanayagam was born in Colombo, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, and raised in Sri Lanka, London, and Honolulu. He is the author of numerous poetry collections, including The Elephants of Reckoning, 1993, Ceylon R.I.P., 2001, The Splintered Face, 2008, Uncivil War, 2013, and Coconuts on Mars, 2019. He writes and translates in English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, and Haitian Creole. His honors include a Patterson Poetry Prize and the Juegos Florales Award. His work has appeared in major journals and anthologies. A U.S. diplomat, he has lived in Haiti, Belgium, Argentina, and Côte d'Ivoire. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Indran Amirthanayagam. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
I'm bad with languages.
That's fine. Thank you so much, Patricia, for the invitation. You can see me all and hear me well? Okay. Yeah, I can't see myself, so that's why I'm asking. I was a diplomat. I left the U.S. Foreign Service 3 years ago. Ironically, the beginning of October 2023, which as you know, about a week later, that marked the attack on Israel on October 7th, and then the response, which has been the subject of a lot of tragic reflection over in this period. I am working on a manuscript of poems called Elegy for the Extended Family, to do with this period of time in our history. Anyway, I began life as a poet from Ceylon, a country that no longer exists. It's been renamed Sri Lanka. I'm a Tamil from that island. And, you know, I'm also, I suppose, a poet coming out of a civil war. I call it an uncivil war in a book, Uncivil War. It lasted 26 years from 1983 to 2009. But the war really began even before I was born, 2 years before I was born, in the late 50s, in 1958. So yeah, I write out of that experience, out of that war, out of exile, out of migration, and I write out of love, and I write out of the need to walk ahead, to keep walking ahead. I'll begin with a poem from that first book. Actually, I published a lot of poetry, but 30 books or something in different languages. But sometimes you can never quite overcome the first book, though you keep trying. This poem is called Kiss, from that first book, The Elephants of Reckoning. Kissing your lips, I try to forget roses or the fruit of palmyra trees, sweet and strong. Tongue lolling upon tongue, heart beating against heart beating. These are my words signifying our human bodies, which poetry does not capture. The absolute desire I have to kiss your lips on this hot and sunny afternoon. I do not know how much longer I can walk about the garden kissing roses, or perambulate the toddy tavern of my dreams, where black faces and white toddy mix in black and white memories of Jaffna, Sri Lanka, my Tamil country, far away on an island across the sea, far away and far away, the palmyra fruit and your lips. To drink toddy now, to kiss your rosy lips now, to uproot the roses in my garden and offer them upon my tongue now, to fly to Sri Lanka and grab the last fruit on the tree before history throws the Tamils into the sea, as it said it will do. Before all this and everything else, before the apocalypse, I do so sincerely wish, though my words may not fit, to rest my head in your hair and kiss your lips. You know, I'm a migrant in America. The Migrant States, a book that was published in 2020. And I'm proud of this migration and remain proud despite all the attacks on our democracy going on as I speak. And one of the Americans that gives me the sense of pride is Walt Whitman. And on his 200th birthday, I wrote a series of poems about him and to him, and I included in this book, The Migrant States. On his birthday, the 200th birthday, I wrote the following: Walt 200. Break the locks, unleash the mind. Walt Whitman has left Paumanok. He is abroad. He's sitting among us in our soul. He flies the post with pigeons in the giant freight planes. He hops freight trains and rides into Mexico. He's on a P&O cruise visiting St. Kitts and Barbados. He has joined the merchant marine. He sails into Guantanamo. He throws fish into the sea in search of whales. He has the biggest, longest beard in the world. He jives, thrives, cavorts, shimmers. He's 200 years old today, and he does not give a flying rat. He's in your mind, Mr. President, even if you cannot smother or scratch or squeeze him out. He is gloriously spirit, gadfly, rabbit and sloth. He nurses our democratic wounds. He knows how to write history from the pebble's view, the side glance of the wren, the snake hanging in the tree. He is black and white and all shades of grey. He is our friend and guide, and he will elect us every time we fall down. Let us go back to Pomonok with what we've learned these 200 years. Let us go back to set forth again Walt Whitman in our backpack. So, here we are on the 250th anniversary. And I'm thinking of Walt Whitman and Allen Ginsberg. And I'd like to read a poem too from this book, The Runner's Almanac, a recent book of mine. And the story here is the relationship between a poet or an everyman walking in the woods and a runner, a mysterious runner who keeps running into his consciousness and out of his consciousness. And Strider, keenness of feeling, desire to speak overwhelming as I search for the right form to express overflowing need to banish sleep, wake up running, dancing to Graceland, Aqualung, Lola, Yellow Submarine, and to you on the trail, sauntering in my sleep, then trilling and morning bird song, sporting rabbit ears, keen for the almost silent step of the photographer before dashing off into the brush. Fawning deer, surprised by the spring drinking, woodpecker even stopping its relentless eating just for a minute as you run by, as you run this poem into a state of atonement, of salvation, of bliss, at the miracle of life popping out from the dark, tangled interstices of melancholy where my heart had foundered until you whistled by, striding. The Runner's Almanac. I'm particularly proud my daughter Lola designed the cover of this book. And my son Anandan designed the cover of The Migrant States and many other books. So it's a particularly satisfactory feeling, no, when your children give you these gifts. And now I'd like to read from a new book, White Space Sonnets. They are sonnets, but they're free verse sonnets, I call them. They seem to follow the pattern of 14 lines and the turn, the volta, but sometimes the rhymes don't follow. They follow their own drummer, so to speak. So what's called a modern sonnet, but the 14-line structure seems to be an automatic, a natural structure for me, not only in English and Spanish and in French, and I write in those languages too. So White Space Sonnets is divided into three parts: love, war, and love again. So from the first section, Fawn in Light. Light the candle when you wake. It will shine in the haze, help you make your way to wash, to dress, to prepare for the greater light of day. Or if the sun pauses behind a cloud for a few hours of grey, do not worry. Light you carry in heart and mind will warm and direct you to put melancholy away in a book written a long time ago, up on your shelf. Consult it when you wish, just to know it has been overcome, made ink on paper, healed in verse, printed in past time. Now you have new light to guide. Fawn ahead in the wood, looking at you with curious, wondrous eyes. Open window. Imagine this. We can meet over coffee or a meal and decide where to go next. The partnership already exists. The ship has left harbor. The plane is flying at 30,000 feet. But this squall is of concern. I know it comes from an unadulterated fear of the ancient curse that moved one Greek to write a tragedy another a farce, but we can fly through it. We are as removed from and as close to Greece as the unity of time and place and action. We are on the same coast. The wind is up. Let us embrace, leave a trace in blood, write this page. Now, from the second section, war, a poem called Exploding Abel. All my life, I've been obsessed by the story of Cain and Abel and why one brother kills another. And I will be obsessed with that until I write my last poem, I think. Exploding Abel. Cain is killing Abel again and again, but his blood is flowing in real time on 1,000 million screens. This invasion cannot be hidden, just like the stain on the forehead, which does not protect the killer, despite God's intention, from the global revulsion and desire for vengeance. This Cain will be hounded and punished. He will not survive, not in any corner of the globe where people are studying the photographs, memorizing the exact imprint of the scar, to make sure when they exercise the citizen's right, they will not commit a crime. They will not kill the wrong family member. In Mariupol, a theater housing 1,000 women and children and men was hit by a, quote, high-performance bomb. Nobody knows how many are walking out of the ruins, how many Abels need justice from that one building in one city of Ukraine. In this book, the war that is the background of the is the war on Ukraine. I mean, I've other wars in other books. And I don't know how much time I have. Perhaps time for 2 more poems.
You have about 5 minutes. Wait, let me
Okay.
see. What time is it? Oh, you have 3 minutes,
Okay.
3.5 minutes.
This poem is called Pumping Metaphors. I'm hedging all bets in this epic meditation. Love informs the lines, and I expect the golden oil will pump for decades to come. Then how to account for dregs in the abandoned field? The mine that raised half the mountain before being left behind, a gash, a memory, and a still polluted water table. Love does not contaminate. It lifts the spirit, heals. Still loves that inspire poets are usually embraced, consumed. This epistolary business exists on a different plane, not any less valid, but the basic desire for release looks for a partner, someone who will hug and kiss the speaker back. I should say that this book was published in my homeland in Sri Lanka recently, in December of last year, by a publisher called Sarasavi. But if you're interested in the book, just write to me because I have some copies. And I mention that because it was very important to me emotionally to publish back in that island, which no longer exists and yet exists for me. Recompense. And this is a poem that has to do with my late mother, who wanted to go back, but was not able to in the end. Recompense. There is always more than one love, one task, one compromise. My mother has become a child again, although she resists falling down. She wants to feed herself, but food falls on her blouse. She wants to walk, but stiffens and leans back, not forward, unbalanced, she falls. She used to walk to church at dawn, then return to make egg hoppers, ladling the dough in the pan so all the kids would wake up to a hopper feast. She dreams of the taste, those days, and here in can-do America, we must find a solution. Look for a Sri Lankan grocery, buy the implements, study the recipe, make hoppers for my mother for the first time. I write a Substack. I invite you to visit it. Many of the posts are free, of course. It's called indranmx.substack.com, sorry. And thank you so much, Patricia, for this generous invitation to all of you. And really, what fine poetry I've heard today. And so I hope I've added to that characterization. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Beautiful. Now we're going to go to the open. Since Neil Daswani, you want to unmute and share? I know
Yeah,
it's very
thanks.
late, very
Thanks.
early in the morning over there.
Yeah, it's getting to 4 a.m., but I'm
Oh,
up for it.
God.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna read a prose poem I wrote recently, and it's called Broken Piano. And the subscript gives the place and date. Cologne concert, January 24th, 1975. Everything that could go wrong does, and keeps on going wrong. Keith Jarrett, the American jazz musician, arrives in Cologne that evening. He is spent. His back hurts. He needs a brace. He's traded in his air ticket for cash and driven 500 miles from Lausanne in an old Renault. All this to play at the Cologne Opera House. The show starts at 11:30 p.m. He has not slept. This is the only slot available with no wiggle room. 1,400 non-refundable tickets. The Bosendorfer Imperial piano he has asked for is nothing like what he was expecting. This piano is too tiny, insufficient volume for the size of the hall. It had a harsh tinny upper register. The white notes were out of tune, with upper and lower octaves faulty. The black notes were sticking, and the pedals did not work. He delivers a bombshell to a distraught Vera Brandes, the organizer. She is all of 17. Unless a replacement piano is provided pronto, there is not a hope in hell of there being a performance. Vera calls everyone she knows on her Rolodex. No luck, no joy. Meanwhile, Vera books a table at an Italian restaurant, who end up messing up Jarrett's dinner order, so he gets no food. He is still hungry. Meanwhile, a piano tuner tries to resuscitate the piano. Jarrett returns to the opera hall ready to call it quits. Out in the driving rain, a bedraggled, rain-drenched Vera Brandes makes one last moving appeal. Against his better judgment, Jarrett agrees to play, if for no other reason than to get a recording. What follows is unbelievable. The entire concert is an improvisation. He decides not to avoid the faulty parts of the piano. On the contrary, he embraces all its faults and builds them into the improvisation. Instead of tiptoeing around them, he makes the broken pedals even more audible, creating a percussionist feel right from the opening 4 gentle notes, as if asking for permission to proceed. Jarrett stays in a state of flow. He is having a conversation with the brokenness of the piano. His playing has an ambient, soothing quality, as if he is comforting the piano. The piano is so quiet, Jarrett has no choice but to stand up, to create enough volume, twisting and pounding on the keys, to reach the audience in the back row. The performance has a peaceful quality, and yet is full of energy. This recording became the best-selling solo piano album of all time and the best-selling solo jazz album in history. Patricia, do we have time for one more?
No,
Short one?
we have to move on. 3
Okay,
minutes.
okay, cool.
Thank you.
No worries.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you,
Next up is Elizabeth Lauer.
Hi, everybody. Happy to be here. So I'm going to read 3 short poems, which are from the the April 30/30 this year. The first two are part of a series. Drone. My name is Drone. I fly towards your home. Take all that you own. Don't leave it alone. My body is steel, my brain a machine. Soft flesh can't deal with edges this keen. When I breach the clouds, it's too late to hide. Oh, my makers are proud to speed your demise. Bomb. My name is Bomb. I'm what men want. They have no qualms. It's death I spawn. My body's steel. Don't make a plan. I hold fate's wheel in bloody hands. I find your farm. I burn your wheat. Is that your barn? Are those your sheep? Beneath the ground you stow away, but you'll be found by night or day. Then the last poem is a pair of haikus, no title. Oh, moon, round and white in the night black sky, now we have seen your dark side. May your light heal our wounded world and break apart our hardened hearts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, Phil Ince, take it away.
Thank you. Just to let you know, David Amram is a jazz musician. 1957, he and Jack Kerouac started poetry and jazz. David's still around. He's up in Beacon, New York, 92 to 93. And the poem's for him. This is Being Beaten 2026. In the video, Jack with Steve Allen, YouTube, Steve asks, what do you mean by beat? Jack thinks a bit, says, sympathetic. Jack couldn't have lived today, couldn't have grabbed this culture as he did in 51. Long years on the American road. Hell, he couldn't take 69, all those damn hippies. Sometimes, most times, I think we die at the right time. We all think he died too young, 47, but it was the right time for him. He burned and blazed with the worth that of a young man filled with power and wonder and gratitude. How amazing to live the life of a human being. To live it fully, appreciate it all, to remind the world of how a righteous man may live. What would he make of all these fools staring into their phones, the silly gamers? He probably would have even liked Trump till the corruption broke even MAGA. But I'm beaten 2026. Know that life's possibilities are more than TikTok, more than AI. Lucky enough not to live the poverty Jack did, comfortable in comfortable America. He showed a path, did his job, and even today, some kid will pick up road and read of things he'd never thought of, and they become real for him, as it's happened to millions before him. As David, aging in Beacon, reminds us, you want to know what Jack was like? Read his books. And Jack lives again, his rucksack revolution, still a revelation yet to come. But some of us, an interesting subsection, carries on. Sex and drugs and jazz and freedom, beaten 2026. Grateful for the words he left us as we live further into the future. That unknown state where Jack will live again in the discoveries of the young. Being beaten 2026. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next, we have Jeff Gacho from Canada.
All right, so this one was published in The Dreaming Machine 5 years ago, and it really pissed off somebody in Scotland, but not for the reasons you'd think. It's called If It Happened Now. And if the Salem witch trials happened now, we'd hang Rebecca Nurse for her witch privilege, and all Giles Corey's pleas for mercy would be met with mocking taunts of, okay, boomer. Susanna Martin and John Proctor would decry the lack of innocence presumed and say due process had been undermined, but every judge would shout all protests down with consequence and accountability. And Abigail Williams would tell her story in an HBO documentary. And if the reign of terror happened now, we'd leave it to the internet to judge the fates of nobles and their families. Marie Antoinette would never get a trial. The Twitter sound and fury would be more than enough to rush her to the scaffold steps. Her live-streamed execution would break YouTube. Her head would sit atop the Eiffel Tower and pose in selfies with millennial tourists. And Robespierre would win the Pulitzer Prize for his tell-all, Catch and Kill. And if McCarthyism happened now, we'd name and shame our socialist ex-partners and friends in epic social media rants, accompanied by the hashtag #Commie2. Blacklisted screenwriters and actors all would cry and moan into an empty void, only to hear, "This isn't cancellation, you're only being criticized. Shut up," while they collected unemployment peanuts. And Elia Kazan would grace the covers of Time and Vanity Fair for his courage. And if the Satanic Panic happened now, we'd scream, "Believe the children," twice as loud. And anyone demanding evidence in the McMartin and Little Rascals trials would be on the wrong side of history. 100 famous goth and metal bands would sign an open letter in Rolling Stone, begging for freedom of speech and free expression, but everyone would scoff and call them whiners. And Tipper Gore would be immortalized in a Netflix hagiography. Good thing humanity has reached its apex, and these events could never happen now. So that's If It Happened Now, and I have a feature coming up, an online feature, Parkland Poets, July 9th at 9 p.m. EST. I'll put the link to the Zoom link and all that stuff in the chat. I already have, but I'll do it again because I'm annoying that way. Okay, and I have other plugs all.
Yeah, I had to sign up. I had to sign up for Parkland because I owe them money.
Oh, okay, that's a good reason.
So thank you for reminding me. I have a note to send to them, whatever, for the anthology.
Cheers.
Okay. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, next one is Lynn Shapiro, unmute and share.
Hi, everyone. I really loved all the poems today. Were wonderful. And I have a very quiet little caterpillar poem. Black swallowtail caterpillars coax me from sleep. Papilio polyxenus float their scent up 2 flights and into my pillowy dreams of star moss and bare feet, sparrows and baby breath. The scent of dill, I smell it on my fingers, at the movies, walking through town, and now. After they've devoured every pot we've grown for them, we're slap out of dill. They've refused fennel, excuse me. They've refused fennel and parsley, so I run to the market to buy 2 fresh bouquets, organic. Carrying them home, I am a bride married to plump green changelings. When angry, tangerine-colored horns appear, release a strong odor reserved for enemies or nudging fingers like mine. Smells to me like papaya. Upstairs in bed, still groggy, their message rouses me. They are hungry and have begun to wander. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Next up, we have Lakshman.
Hi. This is Lakshman Bulsu from Princeton, New Jersey. I'm reading a poem which was published in the Words of Advice Poetry and Prose series of Silver Bridge Press, which started this year. Advice from my father. Always greet your friends with a smile. It cheers them to lengthen their strides in life. Love your family with all the warmth. Their presence protects you, stretching light. Show respect to elders with a namaskar. Their good words in return make you shine. Treat your youngest without attitude. They create a small world of awe moments. Create some leisure time for yourself every day. Read a book, write a diary, be honest. Pat on the back of participants in a marathon. It makes you and them happier than the accolades. Pray for the grieving and ill. Words so deep, no word deeper. They see a world full of colors. Gift a pilgrim with a strong shaft. They move like a ship untethered. Unite the lover parted from his beloved in a manner like the flame and its light. All these actions make you proud. Remember to hold is more than to behold. And one small haiku. Stars in a stream, the romantic voice of yours, decoding your love for me. Stars in a stream, the romantic voice of yours, decoding your love for me. Thank you. I appreciate all the poems read today and the features. And thank you, Patricia, for inviting me.
Thanks so much, Lakshman. Okay, next up we have Zoria, unmute and share.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks so much, Patricia, Roxanne, and everyone. And what a wonderful poetry you all shared. I'm going to read one or maybe two poems for you. Beneath my skin. I'm talking to my mom 6,183 miles between us. In the middle of a casual conversation, I suddenly feel tears rising from every cell of my body, and any second they might splash onto the screen. I grabbed the TV remote and plopped down on the two-seater sofa, wondering why I paid so much for it, since there is not a second seated person here to occupy the other side. Not more than a few minutes into the movie, I found myself furious at how bloated the script is, cursing the filmmaker and every actor. Reclining on the sofa, I stare at the stark ceiling as if all my half-finished sculptures clung to it, marching like fresh troops. Their boots drummed against the plaster, each impact as a hammer blow inside my brain. I placed my hands over my ears to block the sharp pain traveling from my right temple to the left. In a bit, sinking into the sofa a millimeter with each exhale. The motion in sync with my pounding heart. I sink and the light around me starts to fade. I sink till my outstretched hand can no longer reach the TV remote on the coffee table. I'm in the morning shower, barely awake, when I notice a drop of blood from my inner thighs tracing a slow path, falling onto the bathtub. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Charles, come on. You're next, and then me and Roxy.
Thank you. Here's a new poem called Shedding. My parents died one after another, like rock climbers yanking each other loose. But I was not convinced our quaint family hour was over yet, our secrets still to be shed. I realize how that must sound, how it does sound, but it might help you to know my father was a sub-captain full of secrets, which he kept even from mother, nor could any of us ever be sure he and his crew were coming back with them. Just ask the children of Thresher and Kursk if you don't believe me. Truth is, I had a lot of time to think about ever-lurking death and where we go after, if we go anywhere at all. And a picture of my father was not my father. Listen, I don't know for certain, but I believe there's another side. And on the other side, there are countless empty roads where the dead walk, on no particular heading, an infinite going, and few, if any, intersection. The trees thick as stage curtains, overwhelming the moon, blotting up their shadows. I tell you this because some nights I dream of dark roads and walk there shadowless beside my parents. And we speak as if nothing was broken and their humid breath had not evaporated. At first, the road we're on is straight, then inevitably twists with increasing elevation so that it's hard to keep up, and they're in such great shape. Until at some point I stop, breathless on the stony shoulder, and watch them hike off. And always in darkness, these roads, but no sad goodbyes. On this, you must believe me, unless, of course, your otherworldly encounters aren't like mine, and you're sitting at home with your dead ones watching the news and not going anywhere. Yes, I suppose it could be like that. Who knows anything anyway? And isn't everyone lost or mislaid? The point is they're there somewhere, beyond the end of light, an incandescent bead in a long, bright string of beads. And some nights I walk with them and hear their voices and see their unclouded eyes, and I can be content with that. Thank you.
Thank you. And you're going to get a taste of that with Charles, Josephine Leray, and you're going to hear Susan Michelle Coronel on October 31st when we resume Brownstone Poets. So looking forward to Charles and Josephine Reed.
It's very
Thank you
kind
so
of you.
much.
Thanks.
Okay, and now we move on to me and then Roxanne. Two very brand new poems here. Stand By Me, inspired by Benny King. Listening to this song, I am a child again, a crybaby afraid of the dark. Hate followed me when the lights went out. Internal ghosts crept under the cover. Tears were best hidden with the pillowcase instead of the parents' wrath. Love had to be earned to be rewarded. A similar story at school. The Disney godmother never stood by me. No jury back then would believe me. I wore that proverbial chip on my shoulder, like Hester Prynne's letter A. The voice of silence knew who I was. The ringing in my eardrums made sure I didn't forget. The sky hated me. Each day played Russian roulette. I stood by myself, waiting to grow up. The moon and sun too far or busy to intervene. Tears never protected the square peg born inside a round hole. A similar story at too many jobs. Places, names, and faces change. The script altered with the times. The crybaby grew up, evicted each ghost. The letter A tossed into the garbage. The Disney godmother did come, but left in fear. My innocence outgrew its skin. The snake's tongue has no silence. Truth. And the last one written this morning, The Box. No one sees it as it moves from room to room, block to block, station to station, building to building, city to city, nation to nation. Its fence invisible, with hooks and spikes to protect boundaries and anonymity. But what will happen after too many storms? Will it be trashed? Will its contents be removed, salvaged, or dumped? Will its identity be free after a lifetime of incognito? Thank you. And to end it all, my buddy, Roxanne, take it away.
Okay, two Bond sonnets from my series. Sorry, just got something in my. Bond thinks, who's this girl who reads every thought? Cover for me, and I will rescue you. When her eyes check mine, I forget all doubt. Yet each fib I tell, she confirms is true. Who is this giant who questions me? They call him Mr. Big. Bar run someday. Hold on a second, just lost my place, sorry. Bonaparte, Ignace, Gadya, his nome, says he's the spirit of the dead's zombie. The lying lie detector girl, his bride to be, now won't look at me. Perhaps she worries I read minds. What goes on inside behind those bright blue eyes? The fakery. Do I care with whom she chooses to lie? Him, 2 feet in the grave. Love, live, and let die. And Bond responds, my name is Bond, James Bond. On and on they drone. You hear only woo. A blasé name now emblazoned upon your skin, inked like a fire-breathing tattoo. You start to fidget, a flush with distress. Your fiancé, boss, master, states concern. When you hack a cough you cannot suppress, her fragile health. If he knew how you yearn, you'd be dead. Maybe you already are, betrothed to a living corpse, the zombie's bride. But you feel your heartbeat pounding faster, your breath catching your throat, the lump inside. Before you hovers promise. Here is life, a pulse simpatico, blood red where gray's rife. What a wonderful reading we had today.
Thank you, Roxy. I want to, yeah, right on. And I just want to give a warm Brownstone thank you to Hassaino Abdullah, Richard Jeffrey Newman, had to leave early, and Indran Amirathan Naya Gam. Sorry.
Very good, very good, very good.
Terrible.
Patricia,
To Roxanne.
Patricia, I must tell you that you have been running a show for many, many years. I didn't know that it is so big now, and I really appreciate it. It's incredible.
Hey, Patty.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And I just want to thank Roxanne, who's my left and right arm. I mean, and
Yes, Roxanne,
the open mic is the people who support us, and Brooklyn, Hoboken, the world. Surrey Lake, Jackson Heights, Bangladesh, everywhere. The world, France, Paris, Ireland. Do I have to hit everybody?
Wilmington.
You are the world.
New Jersey.
Iran, I think
Massachusetts.
Iran is from Iran.
Iran. Canada.
Thank you.
How can we forget
Canada,
Canada?
yes.
So we're on hiatus. Yay!
Okay.
Well, exactly. I can breathe. I go back to my book. But in the meantime, we're on summer hiatus and no rain July through September. But we're going to be at Governor's Island on July 19th at 12:30, White Horse, with Roxanne Hoffman, David Duffy, Kim Brandon, Jordan Franklin, myself. And we're going to come back. The regular reading will come back October 31st with Josephine LeRae, Charles S. Colby, and Susan Michelle Coronel. And the anthology reading, December 12th. And that will be it. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy holidays.
Here. Postcard Pride and the Rainbow Project will be there both days at the New York Poetry Festival. Will be there both on the 18th and the 19th. So it's a wonderful time. I know it's going to be as hot as heck and probably very muggy, but there's thousands of poets and there'll be just a buzz around the whole place, you know.
A good time.
At all different stages simultaneously. There'll be books for sale and all kinds of goodies. And you should come and enjoy the day. Enjoy the 2 days. Have a great, it's free. I think the ferry trip ride is free if you go in the morning.
Yes.
It's free all day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Patricia. All the
Thank
best.
you. Happy Pride.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
Pride
Thank you,
also.
everybody.
And
Richard,
happy
Indran,
Juneteenth,
and
happy
everybody
Juneteenth.
else, my new
Happy-
friends.
Happy Juneteenth.
Send your poems and send me about 5 so that our editorial board would have choice, you know.
Okay. All right.
Happy summer. Keep cool if you can.
Bye-bye.
I know Paris is burning.
All right. Take
We
care.
know what it's we know what it's like. We had our day and damn days here, and God knows what's going to happen later on this year. I
It
don't
just
know.
started to rain.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
good,
God.
thank God. It's raining here, but God knows what's going to happen around December if we're going to be having a second summer.
Okay, bye-bye, Patricia and Roxanne and whoever else is.
Night, everyone.
there. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Okay, I'm ending the meeting.
Okay. Talk to you later, Roxy.